Musicians have to make music. Painters have to paint. Poets have to write their poetry. They have to do it in order to reach the pinnacle of peace within themselves. One has to become what they can become. Love is a process of self-actualization that can make people produce productive and creative actions. With love, a person realizes that he will get happiness if he is able to make the people he loves happy. The emergence of that happiness in turn requires actions such as protection, attention, responsibility, and knowledge. A person who harnesses and exploits his talents, potentials and abilities to the fullest. Such a person seems to fulfill himself and does the best that he is capable of. The self-actualizing person must find in his life those qualities that make his life rich and rewarding. He must discover meaningfulness, independence, simplicity, pleasure, wealth, simplicity, completion, necessity, perfection, individuality, beauty, and truth. The science of psychology has been far more successful on the negative side than on the positive side. It has revealed to us much about man's shortcomings, his ailments, his sins, but little about his potential, his virtues, his attainable aspirations or his psychological health. We must find out what psychology is if it can free itself from the debilitating effects of limited attention, pessimism and parsimony with human nature. We can think of the process of healthy growth as a never-ending series of situations of free choice, facing each individual at every point in his life, in which he must choose between the pleasures of safety and growth, dependence and independence, decline and development, immaturity and maturity. People who have intelligence must use their intelligence, people who have eyes must use their eyes, people who have the capacity to love have the urge to love and who need to love to feel healthy. Capacity demands to be used, and stop their urges only when they are used moderately. That is, capacity is a need, and therefore also an intrinsic value. Insofar as language forces experience into categories, it is a screen between reality and human beings. In short, we pay for its advantages. Therefore, when using language, as we must have needs, we must be aware of its shortcomings. It seems as if there is one ultimate goal for humanity, a distant goal to which everyone strives. It is called variously by different authors self-actualization, self-realization, integration, psychological health, individuation, autonomy, creativity, productivity, but they all agree that this means realizing one's potential, which is to become fully human, everything that one can be. You must want to be first class. Meaning the best of your abilities. If you deliberately plan to be less than you are capable of, then I warn you that you will be very unhappy for the rest of your life. Avoid your own capacity, your own possibility. Let people clearly realize that whenever they threaten someone or humiliate or unnecessarily harm or dominate or reject another human being, they become a force for the creation of psychopathology, even if this is only a small force. Let them realize that everyone who is kind, helpful, courteous, psychologically democratic, compassionate, and warm, are psychotherapeutic strengths, however small. The person in peak experience feels himself, more than at any other time, to be in charge, active, creating the center of his activity and perception. He feels more like a prime mover, more self-determined, rather than caused, determined, helpless, dependent, passive, weak. He feels himself to be his own boss, fully in charge, completely of his own accord, with more free will than at any other time, master of his destiny, an agent. High-altitude experience can be attained, learned, earned by long toil. Glimpses are possible in peak experiences which, however, sometimes come to anyone. But, so to speak, to stay on the plateau, that's another matter entirely. It tends to be a lifelong endeavor. The best products must be bought, the best people must be rewarded more. Disruptive factors that confound the triumph of virtue, justice, truth, and efficiency, etc., must be kept to a minimum or must be close to zero as a limit. No human being is perfect. There can be found good people, very good, in fact, great. There are actually creators, seers, sages, saints, movers, and movers. Even if they are uncommon and do not come a dozen. However, these same people can sometimes be boring, annoying, grumpy, self-centered, angry, or depressed. To avoid being disillusioned with human nature, we must first let go of our illusions about it. The only happy people I know are people who are doing well at something they care about. Education is learning to grow, learning what to grow, learning what is good and bad, learning what is to be wanted and what is not to be wanted, learning what to choose and what not to choose. A positive self-image and healthy self-esteem are based on approval, acceptance and recognition from others, but also on actual achievement, and success over realistic self-esteem that ensues. Only flexible creative people can truly manage the future. Only people can face new things confidently and without fear. Abraham Maslow, April 1, 1908, June 8, 1970, was a theorist who inspired much of personality theory. He is also a psychologist who came from America and became a pioneer of humanistic psychology. He is famous for his theory of the hierarchy of human needs. Wikipedia